Hello. Okay, we're running. Okay. Yeah, kind of weird. I'm doing a second devlog today. I mean, I already recorded one earlier today, but I was working a little bit on the project now. I was actually designing the rooms, and I thought, might as well show some of the process. I think I've only shown like what's happening in the moment. So I thought it would be, what happened after my updates are done. So I thought it would be interesting if we did a little, process review. Not review, but, just do this while chatting to you. Today I was actually thinking, this might also be paired with like a little bit of a video journal, but today I was actually thinking of returning to streaming. My friend Tom and my sister, but especially Tom, were discussing how, I could stream like game development, I could stream video games, I could stream politics, philosophy, whatever I wanted. Because I used to, love streaming so much, and I was saying how like I miss it. So, I was thinking maybe I could go back to that. I have time, and I might as well stream myself doing these things, right? I think it could be somewhat entertaining. But yeah, anyways, those are some thoughts I was doing. But here, let me show you what I'm doing right now. So I actually just did some optimization to the game, and it worked really, really well. I mean, the game is running smooth as butter. We can even make this a little devlog to show you post optimizations. So basically, all I really did is added spatial partitioning to the game. So if you don't know what spatial partitioning is, all I've basically done is, let me see if I can pause this real quick. All that I've basically done is essentially before, in the pre-optimized version, if this zombie was existing, the main goal of the zombie is to find a human and to kill it, right? Or to deal damage to it. So what it has to do is it has to do basically object detection. It has to send a raycast to every single target on the map and see whether it's in its cone of vision, and if it is, to start pursuing them. The only issue is the more agents you add, the more complex this gets. I tested this with, Steam notifications. Hopefully that won't be an issue. But I tested this with, I think this is 500 agents. 1,000 agents, 500 zombies, 500 guests on a map with no LOD, no basically the only optimizations that are done to rendering are the Unity ones. But everything else is not optimized, or I don't believe I have spent any time optimizing. This is the first optimization step I did. But essentially, it takes a raycast and it shoots it out to every single agent. Now, of course, this scales, not exponentially. I believe this scales linearly. But it gets problematic after a couple of agents. So what I changed is now they do spatial partitioning. So basically, they take some chunks around them. I believe it's 12. So a chunk is 12 by 12 meters. It's just 12 by 12 units, but in the simulation, they're meters. And that makes it like one chunk in the spatial partitioning grid, and then it adds 12 on each. It basically checks the neighboring chunk. So it creates that chunk, and then it creates a neighboring chunk, and then it only detects, or only does object detection for the agents in that chunk, for the guest agents in that chunk. And that pretty significantly lowers the complexity, or the amount of raycasts that have to be sent by zombies. I think that's it. That's the full extent of the spatial partitioning. I believe I can do more optimizations. So, for example, all zombies can share a spatial partitioning grid. But dude, it's midnight 26. Okay, I've been working on this all day. My brain's kind of fried. So essentially, that's what I've done. And if you look at the game, I mean, you didn't see it before, but it is smooth as butter. I don't know if we're hitting 60 FPS. We might be hitting like 50 something FPS, but this is all on CPU, I believe. None of this is GPU. We have a lot of furniture. We have a lot of lights that are being rendered. Actually, yeah, because post-processing is on the camera. Let me just double check that. Rendering, yeah, shadows, post-processing. I mean, this is going at 4K, plus all the editor overhead of Unity. I think if this was built and we did like a little development build or whatever, I mean, this would be running buttery smooth, probably 120 FPS. Again, that's all like made up. I can't guarantee any of that, but I believe it would. Anyways, so now what we're doing is, as you can tell in the game, there's rooms that are still not furnished. If you look here at every single corner of the map or the corner chunks, there's no furniture, only in the middle tiles. So, or in the middle rooms. So that's the problem. We want furniture everywhere. We want both of these room types to be furnished. So that's what I'm doing now. This is going to be a little less complicated than the previous one, but yeah, I have two libraries, asset packs that I've installed, Furniture Mega Pack and LED Light Essentials Pack. This actually had an issue with scaling for some of the components that I had to fix, but anyways, I'm using that. I haven't tweaked them at all. The only thing I've done is kind of fix the problem with the LED light pack, but besides that, I basically haven't touched anything. We go into prefabs rooms, and what I've done is, well, let me show you something. If I edit the current 7x7 room and imagine I want to make this 6x7 randomly, if I finalize that, Unity has to think quite a bit. No cuts here. And it finally does it. So, you know, every single change I make, if I have to wait that long, it becomes like, yeah, let's just say not fun. It takes a long time to do. So what I've done is I just created a duplicate copy of it. Of course, this one has a separate room, but like this one's kind of the same. Where imagine I wanna even just delete the entire floor, it does it instantly. The reason why this takes so long is because it has to update every single room that's in the scene. Every single instance of the prefab in the Unity scene has to be updated. So I created this duplicate room, and now I can make the changes to this, delete this eventually, and then I'll be able to select this and copy and paste and replace this prefab over here. There might be a more industry standard or more optimal way of doing it. That's just the way I've found to do that. What I've already done is I've already added a ceiling. So turn this, actually I can leave the lights on. I don't think that's problematic. Actually, that's gonna get kind of annoying because the big ass fucking sun, sorry, that's fine. Okay, anyways, we've added a ceiling. So now we kind of just need to pick up these furniture items and put them in here. Something we have to be very, very, very careful about when we deal with this furniture is the nav mesh stuff. So if you look at bedroom furniture has a nav mesh modifier where we set the area type to not walkable. If I don't do that, what happens is when we render the nav meshes, which is how we do pathfinding in this game, and I think industry standard for Unity games, is it will start pathfinding onto, or it'll add a nav mesh component or polygons to the furniture itself. So I had an issue where, for example, the closet had a path on top of it, and so did the bed, which then wouldn't be an issue if my agents weren't spawning on top of them. So they would spawn on top of the bed and in the closet, and it would get problematic. So maybe in the future I'm going to add those mechanics where you can climb onto the bed or whatever to get over something. So, you know, you kind of have like half obstacles where you have to like vault over them or whatever. But for now, we're not going to do that. I think that just adds complexity where we don't need it. Anyways, I think that's the only disclaimer I need. Everything else, I mean, we're just gonna start adding components. For now, I'm not gonna add a lot of difference. I'm actually probably just gonna use the same exact components and just make the space a little more open for the 7x7. It just adds, I believe, 7 meters of space. No. Yes, I think it adds 7 meters because it goes from 6x7 to 7x7. So that's 7 meters, I believe, squared to the room. So it's not a big difference. So what I'm thinking of doing is, this is the room base. So this is this room over here. What I can literally just do is I've already done the ceiling. So actually these are just gonna get deleted. Floor we can keep. Bathroom. Bathroom is super important. Now these walls are mega annoying. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. but yeah, the way I found to do this is kind of annoying, kind of cheesed, but it seems like the best way to do this. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this one and I'm gonna grab this one, I'm gonna grab this one, I'm gonna grab this one, I'm gonna Control C, Control V. Oh, actually wait, I'm gonna set these under a parent. I'm gonna create an empty parent, I'm gonna call it walls. So we have these walls, I'm gonna delete this one and I'm gonna delete this one because I need this one and this one. Control C, go over here, Control V, make sure they're under that walls parent. And then drag the red arrow. Oh, of course it's not lined up. Why would it be? Okay. Let's see if we can get this set. Oh, darn it. Oof. Okay, this is gonna be a little troublesome. Actually, we can just look at this one and see it's 0.1. So these on the z-axis are 0.1. These are the same thickness, and here they just need to snap over there. I'll tweak it a little bit. Okay, so it's going to be 0.5. Right, that lines up well. Let's see it from the top. Nice, can't see it. Okay, that's looks well lined up. Yeah, perfect. And the only issue is this is slightly to the side, but that looks like it's just going to be a 2. Okay, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we have to expand this wall. Now I don't know if I can just do this. So make this a 4, and it looks like this is just a 5. Oh, I should have done that from the start. That was the easiest way to do this, actually. Holy buckets. I should have just done that from the start. Okay, so actually that for this one took me so much longer than it just took me on video. So, you know, you always learn new things. But yeah, what I'm gonna try to do as much as possible is copy stuff from here to here, so I don't have to worry about the nav mesh and like ensuring parity between the two rooms in that regard. So what I might do here is actually just go ahead and delete this entire structure. Might as well delete the walls too. Screw it. Okay. Now we need the bathroom. What I might do is I might just copy the entire bathroom over to this room. I don't seem to be able to move the whole thing on its own. Maybe if we can manually set the position. Can we do that? Okay. Yes. Oh, I'm stupid. Silly me. Okay. Now, let's see. Are we going to make the bathroom the same size? Honestly, probably. I think that would just be easiest. So this goes to 0.01. And there we go. Bathroom has been copied over. That was very, oh my God, this is so much easier. Making the room variance is going to be so much easier. And then what I did previously. So I'm just going to delete the bathroom just to keep track of what we have already. And I might copy the bedroom furniture wholly and just take it over here. Just what, -7? Is that too much in the wall? No, I think that's perfect. And then what we can do is we can grab... Wait, did I duplicate it to the wrong... Oh, oops. Just to go here. Okay, so that should be... I was wondering why... I was wondering why it said -7. Okay, so this can just be a 1, and this is 0.2. No, it needs to be 0.1. Is that too close to the wall? Maybe 0.05? I'm just looking at the bed over here. I'm trying to make sure it's centered. Man, 0.04? Maybe just 0? Yeah, 0. It's just 0. Okay. Okay, that's all lined up. Now we're gonna take this and this, and we're just gonna shift these over to the left. Pretty easy. Kind of just vibes-based place. Actually, let's see if we can. No, it's gonna have to be vibes-based. Okay, but that looks pretty good. There we go. We should be able to just delete this furniture over here, which actually means this room is done. Now, did I copy over the lights? Of course I did. Of course I did. Okay, we're gonna have to go down here and we're gonna have to reactivate. Well, I don't know why I keep reactivating the atrium. Okay. Wow, these lights actually look pretty good already. I'm gonna move the bathroom light just a little closer to the wall so it's lined up. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that with all the lights. Move these closer. I actually don't know if they're in the same plane. So this one, hello? This one, is it these two? Okay. This one is in, oh, they are on the same X plane, and this is just not on the same Y plane. Okay. So honestly, I'm not gonna line these up. Nobody's gonna notice, right? Just put it like that. Oh, actually, I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna ensure that these are lined up here. And I'm just gonna grab this one and I'm gonna push it more this way. And I'm gonna grab this one and I'm gonna push it more this way. I just want it to be a little more in the corner. Oops. Okay, we go and do the same thing to this one. Now, yes, it's not gonna be lined up with the other ones, but literally nobody's gonna notice that, so it does not matter. And before literally everyone notices, and it makes me want to die. Okay, we're gonna throw this one here. Wait, is this even in the same z-axis? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we'll keep them lined up, move it like that, and then grab this one individually, throw it over there, grab this one individually, throw it over there. Seem to be done with that, and we're gonna move the closet over. Now, I know this isn't the most hotel-like furniture. This actually just looks like a bedroom, but I don't care, actually. So, of course, this is temporary. Why are there two nav mesh components here? Why are there two nav mesh modifiers? Wait, let me just rename this to bedroom furniture. Hello? I can't even click the nav mesh. Okay, bathroom, no nav mesh. Ceiling, nav mesh, remove object, that makes sense. Walls, no nav mesh. Floor, nav mesh. Bedroom furniture. Ah, maybe that's what these are for? Ah, no, one's for the light and one's for the ceiling. Whatever. I think it works. Let's see. We'll find out, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna copy it, we're gonna go over to this one, and we're gonna delete. Now, imagine how long this would have taken if we didn't. This might seem obvious to someone that's watching, but for me, this actually took a minute to understand. So it actually took me a minute to be like, oh, okay, maybe I should just duplicate it, do all the changes there, and then copy them over to the original asset. Yeah, a little bit silly, but anyways, we move. Well, my mic seems to be picking up some background noise. Just strange, because this should be, sorry, this is kind of meta. Should be connected to my voice mod. Oh, I don't have voice mod on. Wait, what mic am I using? Oh, I have to sign into voice mod. Give me a second. Sorry, what is happening? Oh no. Okay. Oh, I have no idea if I've been using the wrong mic this whole time. I apologize if I have. Should sound far better now. Anyways, okay. It seems that we've moved the room prefab over. So if we go back to our scene, drum roll, please. Yep. Fully populated now. Wow, look at that. That's incredible. So now if we go over here, no, we don't want that. Select the entire floor. The entire floor. Oh, this is really laggy. You should have a nav mesh. We're gonna just bake over the other one. It's gonna bake. Wow, it's never taking this long. Baking is in progress. And we're done. What? I just saw a little weird thing. So if we go over here, we are done. Let's just double check the baking. There's nothing on top of the closets. Nothing looking weird anywhere. Toilet doesn't have any nav mesh components on it. Everything looks fine. Please have a ticker of how many times I said nav mesh. It should show through the ceiling, but if we add all these components together, it seems that everything is kosher. We are doing good. That's how you furnish a room for the game. I might even make a devlog. I'm really enjoying recording while I'm working on the game. This has also been an incredibly small little adventure that I just did. But what I might start doing is I might start making the other types of rooms. Start populating them. That might be my next update. Or something I wanted to do. What is this? Over here. What is this thing? I feel like it's connecting these two corridors together. But it's not, because the corridor ends. It's sus. I don't know why it's doing that. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Okay. We'll see. Anyways. Something I wanted to do is currently in the game manager over here. This is how you choose how many zombies and how many guests spawn. What I might do is I might change the variable so it's percentage of rooms filled or occupancy rate for guests, which essentially will make each room have a percentage of guests. We can say like occupancy rate and average guests per room. So imagine if I put average guests per room 1 and I put, or no, should I put guests per room? We'll do average guests per room. Could we do like we could add multiple variables and make like a standard deviation or whatever of number of guests and put like a high and low. Oh, we whatever. Let's just say number of guests per room and then occupancy rate. So imagine number of guests per room is 1. Let's say there's 1,000 rooms and occupancy rate is 100%. There would be 1,000 guests and whatever. You can do the math for other stuff. And what I would do is have a zombie starting point. So for now, it could be like a random room, and we could say number of zombies. So it would pick random rooms, and then if the percentage of number of zombies is higher, more guests are zombified at the start. That makes a lot of sense, right? So if we have a number of zombies or zombification percentage at 1, let's say there's 100 guests, one random room would be picked as the zombie room, and that guest would be turned into a zombie, and then that guest would walk around and infect other guests. And instead of guests dying when they run out of health, they just get zombified. Or maybe it's like as soon as you get touched, you get zombified. Which for now just would be guest gets despawned, or the guest capsule, whatever it is, the guest object gets removed and a zombie gets spawned right where it was standing. I think that would be the easiest way to do it, instead of like having a flag or whatever that changes zombification. Although that could be more interesting for like maybe curing zombies in the future, and for like memory persistence and personality persistence across zombification. We have to think about that a little bit more. Maybe in the future. I'll change it to just a flag. But yeah, I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. And it's going to make it a little more interesting. Another thing I really want to do, since we're doing Unity, and instead of like walking or flying around in the scene with my camera, I can add some spectator cameras. that would, like, I don't know, randomly switch between zombies, or have like a pan of like an aerial pan of like rooms and stuff like that. And I don't know, it could be very interesting. So maybe I'll figure some like cinema modes out or whatever. But again, I feel like all of these are just like fun things I can implement before I start implementing more gameplay mechanics, such as food, hunger, daytime, and sleep. You know, all of these fun little things that I want to add. But yeah, doing this in Unity has been so much more fun. And to end this, we're just gonna run a little bit of the game and see if we've lagged it out a little bit by adding more furniture. My hypothesis is going to be that we didn't, and that everything should still run smoothly, but oof, spawning is taking a while. I think it always did though. There we go. Switch to the game. Okay. And I don't know, visually it doesn't seem to be a massive difference. It does seem a little laggier. But yeah, everything seems so much better populated. These two guys don't make sense. Okay, never mind, it got fixed. But yeah, it seems, you know, way more textured, way more hotel-like. Yeah, this looks good. So I think next step is to, I don't know, yeah, there's a couple of paths that we can go down. And I'll just see. Next time I jump back on here, because I'm probably gonna go to bed now. But yeah, next time I start developing again, we're gonna see what the next steps are. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing this. I'm having a lot of fun working on this game. It's probably the furthest I've gone into like an actual working project. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. So I guess I will see you in tomorrow, actually. I'll see you tomorrow. It also counts as my video journal for the day, but so does my previous one. One thing I will say is I feel like I need a shave. My beard's getting mega bushmaster out here. I don't know. But yeah, it's been fun. I love you so much. Hopefully you've learned something new or just enjoyed. Anyways, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Big kiss.